The Secrets of Abelia Prem. A group of treasure hunters sets out to continue exploring the manor grounds of disappeared reclusive scholar Abelia Prem. You have the map available in the company book, and you can visit any place that you can see on those grounds, including the house, by the way. You can go all the way up to the house if you want. You just simply have to tell me where you want to go. You enter from the sort of lower, like south west portion there. I'm going to just go around the table and see what everyone's interested in doing. Obeha, you've been here before, so what do you think?
Mhm. I want to go to that really weird, cartoonish hole in the ground.
Sure.
Looks like an emoji for people listening.
It is. It's a hole surrounded by trees. uh, Ria Silsmot, what are you going to do?
I was also kind of curious about the very 1980s Zelda. This is the entrance to a dungeon looking hole. So I think I'll accompany Obeya over there.
Yeah, sounds good. Aspel?
I will be going to the giant hole as well.
Three to the giant hole. Vero, oh, also Aaron, change your username. Vero, you're not even meant to be here. You're supposed to be on watch right now, yet here you are. where, where do you go?
I couldn't pass up the opportunity to sneak along after hearing what everyone came back with and hearing all the things they came across. I just had to come along. I think I'm following at a bit of a distance.
Okay.
So I'm following the others towards the hole, but I might get distracted by this statue that's sort of in pieces on the ground.
Oh yeah. That sounds good to me. So it is it's full sunlight day. The grounds are beautiful as you're kind of marching across them, going past the sort of beehives, going past the little lake and with the bridge and everything. Our little pond. There's a couple of ponds actually. It's beautiful. I asked this question of the last group, but I'll ask it of you all as well as I paint the scene. It's overgrown now, but what do you see that shows it is an overgrown beauty? Like there's something, this was a truly beautiful place before it got left untended to.
You see in the paths that are branching out through the garden, there's a really intricate mosaic design in the path that it's all like hand pieced together. It's not tiles that kind of were preset. It was all ones that were like kind of lovingly placed.
In the evening or at nighttime, would it be too soon to say that there are fireflies hanging around all of the hedges? Um,
There would be at night, but certainly it's a day, so.
well, I'll think of something else then.
Hmm.
I think there are intricate sort of ornamental filigree designs on the bridge, whether we would have noticed them before or not, but ornate carvings and little sort of whimsical designs or faces or things that clearly have no utilitarian purpose.
Hmm.
I think Abeha, as they are looking around, they see a few more s- luxurious statues that they had been noticed the last time they were there, or they weren't there the last time they were there. It seems that this estate has carved so many that they are just innumerable.
Hmm.
I think one of the stones that they use for these statues does have a sort of a quartz or a quartziness to it, so it does catch the sunlight in a way that makes them seem to glitter. And we might see this also in the construction of things like the bridge or the grotto, wherever the stonework is involved.
Hmm. Fantastic. I won't eat up any more of your hour with paint the scene questions. So the group of you that walked over to this hole in the ground, let's talk about that. It's a small clearing in this otherwise like wooded estate grounds. There is a perfect circle of 6 oaks surrounding a big hole in the ground. And that's all I'm going to tell you for now. Each of you can ask your questions as you approach and maybe get hunt rolls going. We'll start with Asbel.
Looking around, there are kind of intentionally these 6 trees, it looks like, that are placed around the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look like there's something like, are they a special kind of tree, perhaps, or
Yeah,
something specific about them?
make a hunt roll. You get 1 light die for asking the question, and you can take another for a skill or piece of equipment that will help you. I will tell you, you have the ongoing set goal of exploring the manor grounds.
Okay. Um,
And I put a link to the die roller in the chat in case anyone needs it. What are your questions while we're waiting, Rios?
yeah.
Is there anything inherently, since it's just the approach, yeah, is there anything inherently magical about these 6 trees? Are there any markings on them or anything else about them that particularly sticks out or gives a clue as to why there is a giant hole here?
Yeah, you can make a hunt roll as well. And Abeha, what about you?
What's in the hole?
Very good. Make your hunt roll, please. What'd you get? As well, did you come up with that second
A
die? You're just
4.
rolling 1 die. 4.
Just gonna roll one.
A
Yeah.
1.
What'd you get? Oh, Rios, you got a 1. I'm so sorry. Did you have any tokens, Rios?
No.
Okay, well, that's good at least. And Abeha, what'd you get?
Yeah, I don't have any skills. A 2.
A 2. Well, this is a great start. I will tell you that the trees are all oak trees. It's a perfectly round circle. They were clearly planted this way. There's no way they grew like this. And indeed, they don't have any symbols on them, but they have the feeling of being like sentries. Something in their shape, something in their size. Rias, what do you notice that makes them seem like sentries or guardians?
Oh boy. Something about either like the way that they are like a knot in some of them gives this feeling that we're being watched, I suppose. Um, there's just like a subtle way that they might even twist a little
Like in the
in
wind.
response to our
Yeah.
presence. Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah, I like it. We'll pick up at the scene in a moment. Vero, you go over to this, what on the map is like a sort of cracked up statuary, and indeed, that is what it is. It's a broken statue. They lie sort of scattered on this little small hillock. 2 stone arms, 2 stone feet, a stone head, a partial stone torso. They're arranged as if they were, the place they would be in. Go ahead and ask your questions as you approach.
I think what distracts me about it more than following the others is the sense that there's some sort of pattern here, and that it looks at on a further approach like the statue had toppled over, but then reaching it and realizing that it's been laid out specifically. Can I tell whether there's a rhyme or reason to how the limbs are set out?
Oh,
Is there
sure, yeah.
like a ritual purpose for the statue being laid out the way it is?
Great question. Go ahead and make your hunt roll.
I'm doing hunt 2 with rituals. That's okay.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Lee, that's a 2.
Boy, it's just really, really great. Lots of things going on. Lots of bad die rolls. Obeha, you do manage to look down into the hole. I assume to look into the hole, you have to step into the Ring of Oaks. And you're Fey folk, and so I'm sure you probably have some kind of hint or inclination that stepping into the circles of things is maybe not always a great idea, but you do it anyway?
Yeah, because like honestly, with like the teleporting statues that can like rip you out from reality, I'm assuming that the trees could do the same thing
Hmm.
and that they're just more concerned with what's in the hole, which means I'm concerned what's in the hole.
Down in the hole, you can not very far at all, just like maybe 5 to 10 feet down. You can see the top of yet another oak tree that is down below. Vero, as you are poking around, looking at the statues, maybe there's like vines growing over a lot of the pieces, and you move, clearing some of the vines, looking for markings or symbols or what have you. One of the vines, as you clear it, actually moves in your hand, and the end of the vine whips around, and the leaf that's there actually opens up to reveal fangs. It is a viper disguised as a piece of vine. This is a risk roll.
Mm.
Go grab the text of the risk roll while I go back to the other scene, because you're going to guide us through it here in a moment.
Okay.
Rias, while all this is going on, you notice that there are three statues that are not accounted for on the drawing. Three statues of knights carved from marble. They form a rough triangle or circle around where the three of you are, sort of around the 6 trees. What do you do?
Asbel, what happened to Vaunt right before he got injured?
Um, I wasn't on the scene, but it happened in an instant. Truly, if it gets its hands on you, it's going to be in an instant.
If you look back up, it seems like those statues, they were previously standing with their swords held down, pointing down like guardians, but now they're all pointing them at you, creating a cordon of swords pointing in.
Do you see three statues pointing swords at me?
You all do.
Yeah, they don't like us.
Call me Defiler, I dare you.
Don't taunt them. They don't like that. They don't like when you steal things either. But currently, we're not stealing nor we're trespassing. Go away.
There's a strong gust of wind that blows through the trees, the sentry oaks, and perhaps that catches your attention just briefly. And when you turn back, you see that the marble knights are just a little bit closer.
I don't think they want us to be here. Obeha, let's step away. Maybe they're guarding this place.
Fine.
Certainly.
Figured that the tree was the god for this particular place, but apparently that's more recruits, and I'm gonna step out of the circle.
Indeed. Vero, please take us through the risk roll. Tell us what you're trying to accomplish here.
Not be bitten or wrapped up by this viper. I mean, I think seeing it, I'm trying to get away without being bitten.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Keep going.
I forgot my sawtooth blade in my hand because I think while I was clearing the vines, I probably needed to cut some away.
Sure.
So that's a piece of equipment that helps me. I can take that's a first light die. A
Well, let's
second
back
light
up.
die.
We have to talk about
Oh,
what could go wrong here.
oh,
Everybody gets a chance to speak there. I mean, you get bitten and envenomed, I would say.
You get strangled, and because you're by yourself,
Nobody
we
knows.
cannot help you.
Nobody just wonders where Vero went.
I don't make it back in time to complete my watch, that could be trouble at the camp.
Could be indeed, yes.
Somebody back at camp notices you're gone.
Fortunately, it's daytime at least. They only put Vero on
Sure.
day watch
Yeah,
now. um, any other offerings?
The creeper will wrap around your neck so you won't even be able to call for help.
Interesting. Keep going. So you got your first light die.
There's the first light die. Second light die for accepting a devil's bargain from another player or the GM. Complication that happens no matter the outcome of the roll.
I'm going to say no matter what, the others are immediately aware of you being here. That's a pretty light devil's bargain.
Might be better off for it. Any others?
Oh no.
Yeah, I think just to make that particular devil's bargain, no matter what, you weren't meant to be on this mission.
Hmm.
Oh, that's intriguing.
I mean, I'm intrigued enough by that. I do want the others at this point to come to my rescue, but I think I really like the sound of that. I like where that could take us. So I'll take Chaotix, Devil's Bargain. And then add a dark die if I'm risking my mind or body to attempt the task. I think if I'm trying
you certainly
to,
are. Yes.
yeah, try to get this thing away from me with my sawtooth blade, that's definitely a risk.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll.
So that's 2 light, 1 dark, 5 light.
Good. You certainly will succeed. I will tell you that the complication is you are going to kill the viper. That's no trouble at all. I think connected to your drive, you have this drive of find the artifact that proves the king's true nature. I'm curious what you suspect about the king.
My instinct that I communicated in my campfire story was that somehow he was changed in the desert of Nagane, that maybe against his will, or he found something that had corrupted him. So whether he's like a lizard person in disguise or something else in the desert. I mean, I think there's a possibility that it's not even Nagane that corrupted him.
I would like to suggest that somehow the king knows you know this, and there's a king's guard that's been tracking your movements, and they've tracked you. They tracked you first to the company, and now they've tracked you here.
And I'm isolated.
If you don't want to deal with that, you can certainly add a dark die and try again.
No, we can deal with that.
Okay. Go ahead and narrate how you kill the viper.
The thing, as I'm clearing away the vines, it leaps out at me, and I think it gets within an inch of my face before I get it here. And I'm holding it as it's trying to reach my neck, and just with the blade, single sharp serrated slice.
You do get a lone gold die roll. It might be worth something.
I'll take it. Is it just gold 1?
Just gold 1.
Hey,
you get one?
Gold. Yeah,
well, that's good. I think it's just very
right.
well intact. You have to name the creature, but otherwise, and because it's in such good shape, you can sell it back to the camp.
Should I name the creature now or just in the
just
book?
whenever it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, everything's going great so far.
So far,
right.
We'll come back to that. Still, the others don't know about you. They have their own problem to deal with. Mm-hmm. Every time you begin to talk, every time you even briefly take your eyes off these things, they're a little weeping angel in that way. They get just a little bit closer. What are you all doing right now? Obeha, you have stepped out of the circle, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still approaching.
They're still approaching.
We should prepare for combat.
All right.
Great.
If they're going to give me the time to do this, I don't know if anybody else has combat rituals, but I might go beast.
Oh, you're gonna transform?
Or I'll at least start prepping this ritual. The idea is going to be if we go into combat, I want to try and reduce their endurance by 1, but
Oh, I
I'll start
see.
prepping that ritual now.
I think that's great. Asbel, Abeja, are you going to combat these things?
Yeah.
I guess.
they
I don't see a way to avoid them.
they are always getting closer. They are very, very near you now. They are within mere feet with their weapons drawn and pointed, one at each of you. And Rias, you can go ahead and do your ritual to try to reduce their endurance. Their collective endurance is 10. I think, what was their individual endurance, Obeha? Do you remember?
Hold on, I'll look at what the Lithic Knights are.
Lithic Knights, you named them. That's right. Yeah.
They are 8.
Oh yeah. So their group endurance is 10. So if you can lower that, that would certainly be helpful. Let's just. I'm gonna limit like risk roll outcomes to just one devil's bargain here. You can ask one person to give you a devil's bargain.
To guide the risk roll, I'm hoping to transform into Rias's most potent known form, which is his half tiger, and just savage the hell out of them. Uses his extra strength to give an advantage. What could go wrong here?
You turn into a full tiger.
Fair.
Yeah, I like the idea of you being a full tiger for a time. I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Cool. I have transformations as a skill, so that's probably an easy first light die. Devil's bargain for time. Asbel.
You can do this. I mean, sorry, not you can do this. No matter what. Let's see. I'm gonna pull you up real quick. Pa, 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 pa. Yes, you're okay. There you are. No matter what, I think that your hourglass will get shattered while you're transforming. We're kind of under the gun right now.
That's rough.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one. We're gonna go one light, one
Yeah.
dark.
One light, one dark. You need 4 or higher to
6
lower
light.
the endurance. 6 light. It lowers it by 2. They are now in endurance 8. By the time you're conscious again, Rias, in a blink, the 3 of you find yourselves once again. Well, Abeha, you were never there, I guess. You find yourselves in this ballroom, this beautiful ballroom with marble floors and grand chandeliers overhead, and a double staircase that kind of goes up into a shadowy, unknown place. And rushing down the stairs, flanking you, 2 on one side, 1 on the other, are these knights. Halt, villains! Thieves! Defilers! And they are running down. They're brandishing their blades. Please say how you're exposed and roll your weak point.
Beha's more interested in what this pocket dimension
Yeah, like
is
what
rather
happened.
than fight.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
I think the floor is slick, and if you've ever seen a cat try and run on a slick floor, it doesn't usually go well.
Very good.
Asbel is. I think she has no idea what to do after having watched Vaunt get really messed up by this. She's like, I'm not built like Vaunt is, and I'm stuck in here alone now.
Indeed. Well, you're all together, I guess. There are 3 of you, I guess. What are the weak points, though?
6 for Rias.
6.
And
3.
3. 6, 6, and 3. It's a combat 3 to start. Yes, you can roll to start.
Combat
Looking
3.
for 8 on the 2 highest dice. Yes.
It's an 11, but the 6s are hits.
The 6s are indeed hit. So you will either take a ruin or you'll mark an armor. Let's begin the combat. You will defeat them. Go ahead and start, Rias.
Yeah, we see Rias to pull back just a few seconds as they start approaching. Rias again takes off his upper garments, and we see these lines, and he begins tracing over them. He doesn't have to do it as much as he did previously because he knows this form. It's part of him in a way that the others aren't. But he starts just kind of growling in Naganese, "My name is Riesumat. My mother's Anarita de los Mat. My father is the razor in the wind. You will not catch me this day." And we watch him, like, his upper body grows in size. His hair has that white. He looks more white tiger than he did previously in the campfire scene. But his face becomes feline, and he picks up this shield and spear. And I think he savages them. I think he just carves them, but he's a little caught in his own bloodlust, and the night gives as good as it gets. But we just see it's a bloodbath or a marble bath, whatever.
Take wherever it stabbed you, take blade injury there as a condition. Keep it going, Abeja.
I think with Rias savagely attacking them, I think Abeja is keeping at a distance, using various magical outbursts of arcane power to blast them back, seeing what sort of effects magic have on them, whether or not they have a physical form in this reality,
They
or
do.
are they, yeah, or they're just magical. Just seeing what the effects it has, but I think and sort of the speed, I can't really tell, and it's more trying to defeat them.
Asbel, finish up the fight.
I think that there are two that are focused in on Rios and his transformed shape, and one splits off. And in that split second where they prepared, she pulls out her stave, and you see that it starts like growing at the end of it, so it gets thicker. And she raises it up over her head and brings it down. And as she's raising up over her head, the sword of this knight lances out and I think slices her rib cage. But she lands a blow straight to the head.
Nice. Make an appropriate condition on your conditions, and you have your ruin. Vero, you've got your prize, and I'm sure you're keeping your eyes on the others as you're doing everything. And you look up, and you notice that they're all gone for just a moment, but then they're all back, and they're all like battered and bloody. And before you have a time to even like register what's going on or to react in any way, someone grabs you from behind and hauls you away to a nearby tree line. Now you're just like a kid, right? You're pretty young.
Like 15, yeah.
Yeah. You're just, and this person just grabs you easily and like hauls you away. What do you do?
I think at first, I mean, if this person is like pushing me up against a tree, I think I'm going to register who it is.
I think they grab you and they put a bag over your head and they're like hauling you somewhere. They're taking you somewhere.
That's not going to work. I'm going to pull, if I can reach my belt, my arms are free, and reach my belt and pull out a thin, sort of inobtrusive looking stick.
Mm-hmm.
And under the bag, this guy would hear "Inferno" as I try to light him up with the Inferno wand that I stole from the camp.
You took the wand of fire from the vault.
Brought it with me. Figured it might come in handy.
I mean, this is a combat. It's pretty obvious how you're exposed. Please go ahead and roll weak point. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Inferno. This is great.
Weak point is 5.
5. Okay. I do want to be reminded really quickly for people watching the video too. When the command word Inferno is spoken, a small glowing orb zips ahead and explodes in a massive fireball at your target. You can use it, so you can use it to lower the endurance of a monster, but that's not what we're doing here. You can use it in combat. You do your combat roll at +6 dice. And yeah, so you're gonna...
So Pharaoh had heard about this thing secondhand from somebody else who brought it back, and they were talking about what it did. I don't think he knew what it did exactly, other than how to activate it and that it might get him out of a tough pinch.
I mean, it's an endurance 7, so the extra dice are going to help here. Go ahead and roll combat 7.
Okay, that is 12 total.
2 5s,
and
however.
2 5s.
I'm assuming that's from the fireball exploding on
And
you.
yes, and
Describe how
I
you
can.
incinerate this poor Kingsguard.
Um, I mean, I think it's a point blank fireball. So the thing explodes out, and the percussive force simply sends him sailing back away from the trees and into a copse of trees on the other side of the clearing, so that his charred husk is just now sort of dangling from one of the branches. Because it was a point blank uh, fireball, I think my own cloak goes up in smoke. Is
So
just
you're marking your
completely.
armor. Yeah.
I mark my armor, and I think that it's completely destroyed.
The three of you all just had this like moment, and you blink back with your injuries, and the marble statues crumbled at your feet, and then you hear an explosion, and then you see a massive fireball across the way. Um, you hear Vero screaming. What do you all do?
Well, God. All right. Unwieldy magic going on. I guess Obeya has to investigate. Aspo, Riz, Riz, could you look through the statues to see if it has any valuables while I go
Certainly.
check whatever that thing is? I think
At least
that,
he's screaming. That way we know
yeah,
he's alive. So
yeah. He's not supposed to be here. He's not supposed to have the wand of Inferno. Why he has that?
I don't even know if you know that yet, but yeah. But
Yeah, what? He's not supposed to be here.
Asbel, go ahead and roll a gold 8 to see if there's anything left behind with statues, the lithic knights. There is not. And Vero, you can, before we forget, go ahead and roll gold 7. See if the burned up Kingsguard had anything. Traveling
Uh,
money or something.
yeah. So his endurance was 7. Okay.
Yeah.
7. 2 gold. Holy shit. This is going great so far. I should come on more of these. This is so fun.
I think he has like a sack of silver that he uses for traveling money. It's worth 2 gold total. You also need to roll a single dark die to see if the wand of fire is expended. So if you get a 6 on this, then the wand of fire is no longer usable.
Okay. 1.
Okay, so you're good. It still functions. Let's just find everybody in time and space. Obeha, you can help put Vero out. Rias, Asbel, what are the two of you doing?
I think Rias transforms back into his form melts back into human. He gets himself back composed. But we came here to look down this hole. The sentries are or at least the statues have been dealt with. We're gonna look down this hole again.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking down at the top of another oak tree,
Yeah.
a very big oak tree. You can probably hop down and climb down
Yeah.
it, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hop on down.
Asbel, what are you gonna do?
could I rummage in my bag for some rope to try and tie off, just so we can get
escape
back out of the
really
hole?
Yeah,
easily.
okay, that's
Yeah.
probably.
You'll need.
Maybe not.
You can tie it to one of the oaks, so yeah, that's no trouble. Yeah.
Cool.
And we'll pick up with Vero and Obeha in a minute. I want to get to this this big oak tree first. So you yeah, you can climb down pretty. It's not too hard. This it's a really large oak tree, and this tree's shape subtly suggests a female form. What makes you think that, Rias?
Uh, wow, put me on the spot. There's a way that the I mean, I know it's an oak, but there's a way that the leaves sort of cascade. Maybe there's a willowness to it that gives this sense of uh
Curvature. Yeah.
yeah, of femininity, sure.
Asbel, you're climbing down as well.
Yes.
You also all find yourselves in this like stone chamber where this oak tree has been planted, and there's this hole to allow the sunlight in so that it grows. And inside this chamber, you hear the sort of like tinkling of water. In all four corners of this chamber, there are um, circular fountains that are functioning. They're pumping water, and there is towards the north of this chamber there is a set of stairs that are going down. There's also there's also a door in this chamber to the east. What do you both do?
Um, could I'd like to set up my ritual dryad to try and become a tree and communicate with this other tree.
Oh, you don't even need to do the ritual. This is a dryad, and you know enough of this magic to communicate with the tree. You're the exact right person to come down here, actually. But we'll get to that in a moment. Rias, what are you doing in the meantime? I'm sure this is not just like a conversation the two of them are having. It's probably something more subtle than that.
Uh oh man. On the one hand, Rios would want to stick around to like hear this conversation. Um, but at the same time, I have burdens I have to meet and I have not met them.
Hmm.
So I have to go looking around, and the stairs seem like the next best place.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go down the stairs.
So let me get you a new set goal here for this area. The set goal for this part of the adventure is gain access to the laboratory. You can go ahead and go down the stairs. You can ask questions as you head down.
Oh man. God, I'd really love a hunt token. Uh, um, what lies at the bottom of the stairs? Are there any other clues as to why the trees resemble people or dryad? Well, we've already know they're dryads. Um, are there any dangers awaiting? Is there any treasure uh at the bottom of the stairs? Or
You
is
have
there
your
anything, actually, is there anything along the walls, a mosaic, something that tells a
hmm,
story about this space?
hmm. You have your first light die for asking questions, and you
Sure.
can, if you can find a way to add a second one, you can certainly roll two.
If it's dark enough, I can either plie, darkness, or I have a torch that I can light up to help me see a little better.
I like the torch. Yeah, I like the torch because especially as you get away from the circle, the hole where the tree is, the light becomes less.
Sure.
So go ahead and roll two dice.
Two hunt die. Doesn't help. It's a 3.
Dice are the dice rollers being very like ironic and cruel today. I feel like the die roller is. Um, Asbo, you can ask your questions of this oak dryad, a proper oak dryad. Um, I'm imagining this is not just like a spoken conversation. There's something a more subtle means of communication. I'm curious what that's like.
I think she walks up to the tree, and the staff that she's been carrying, you see that the top of it kind of twists again, and from it sprouts a couple of like uh deep red catalpa blossoms,
Mm.
and there's like a smell that kind of starts to fill the space as she puts her hand on the tree, and she says, You look absolutely beautiful. How long have you been here?
Go ahead and make your hunt roll.
Um, and with my dryad, can I get an extra die for that?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. 6.
You take your token. You have communicated with entities like this before. You know what the experience is supposed to be like. But for whatever reason, this one is utterly insane. And it floods your mind with visions and communication that is incomprehensible, indeed unbearable to your mind. Because you got a 6, I'm not going to push it to a roll or anything, but you must break off communication if you don't want a risk roll to happen. But you can surmise that she's not here of her,
Sure.
it's not here, put here of her own will.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'll take her hand off the tree again and pull back, kind of almost as if that feeling of like her hand got like burnt, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Let's pick up with Abeja and Vero. Abeja and Vero. I think by the time the two of you catch up, you are in the part of the map that is sort of just a little north of the atrium, the crumbling atrium.
Yeah.
Let's just have the scene with the two of you.
What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, Obey, hey, thanks for coming back for me. I appreciate it. There was somebody following me, and I don't know what he wanted, but he was trying to abduct me.
That is
And
very clearly the smoldering remains of Kingsguard armor, Abeja.
Yeah.
Just
He's-
FYI.
he's
You
right up
killed.
there.
He killed the king's guard.
Come on, that's all fair. They're trying to kill us all the time.
I, th-
And
That
besides,
is
he started
true.
it. He started it. So
yeah. And we didn't know that you were coming along on this incursion. And
Well-
you took from the vault.
yeah, and good thing too. I mean, this thing works amazing. Have you tried this?
Yeah. Yeah. What happens if I were to tell everyone else what you did today? Do you think that you would be kept in the company?
Well, look, I can be helpful. I can be helpful.
Mhm.
What are we doing? What are we trying to find?
Well, you
While you're having
found
this conversation, you hear you hear a ah ah ah. There are
yes.
perched in a nearby tree a group of large buzzards. 3 of them. One of the buzzards, and they're very big, they're like man-sized buzzards. One of the buzzards wears a powdered white wig. The other buzzard has a frilly Elizabethan neck ruff. And the third buzzard is wearing a jaunty cape and cap. And they're looking at you from their little lofty perch. Aww. And in particular, they're looking down at your half-open bag of newly purloined silver, Vero. And they're hopping from side foot to foot on the branch. What do you both do?
So, question, semantic question, maybe. I've been trying to figure out the definition of vermin.
Rats,
So
insects,
not just
snakes,
okay. Okay.
small swarmy animals.
Not any pest animal that hinders human activity.
What do you have in mind?
I'm just trying to determine whether buzzards are vermin. It's
Oh
really
no,
all-
they're not vermin.
Okay.
No, no.
Very good.
They're getting like more and more excited.
start backing up, I think.
Mhm.
Abelia, let's go.
These buzzards, are they under the effects of any illusions, or are they
Make a
like
hunt roll.
beast bitten? I have the skill of illusion, so I should be able to tell.
Go for it. Yeah, 2 dice.
I get a token.
You do get a token, but you do encounter something terrible. The terrible thing you encounter, since you've already seen them,
Mhm.
there's no illusions. This are these creatures' natural state,
Hmm.
and they love beautiful things, as evidenced by their sartorial choices. And they leap from the tree, flapping their useless, flightless wings, allowing them to glide down and slam down around the two of you, and they they lunge in with their beaks to try to tear you apart to get at that silver. You need to both say how you're exposed and roll your weak point.
I'm really
I-
mad at Vero.
And I'm exposed, I think, because they want what
They
I'm
want what you've
holding.
got. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hey, bust out the
Oh,
wand of fire again.
No, such thing as too much of a good thing.
um, let's get weak points. What do you got? What do you got? Both
Ooh, 5.
5 and 5. This is going to be an endurance 10. Collectively, they're an endurance 10. Obeha, go ahead and roll combat 3.
mhm. Right. Combat 3,
Mhm.
right? And I thought 2 because there's
Oh,
only
2.
two of
Sorry.
us.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get hit.
You don't get hit, but you don't defeat them either. Just give me the opening moments of the combat, then I'm gonna switch over to Rias. Whoever wants to go first.
I think these are big, a little bit clumsy creatures. They can't really fly and like they just sort of clumber on. And I think like Abeja is like trying to like kick them back, like not at their staff to just like get them to go away because it seems like they're dumb animals, but they're very persistent.
And
Yeah,
Vero.
and Vero is backing up to sort of try to get back to back with Abeja. He's got his sawtooth blade out and is just sort of brandishing it at them, likewise, kind of trying to drive them back a little bit. And the rats that are clattering around in the cage, which is now exposed because he no longer has his cloak, are just shrieking horribly. So there's shrieking rats as he's trying to brandish this kind of small blade to drive these things back.
We'll come back to this in a moment. Rias, you didn't get a token. You encountered something terrible. Terrible would be fairly loosely defined here, I think. You're going down these stairs. The stairs lead to the room you were in was actually like very beautifully masoned stone, but the stairs lead down to a much more roughly hewn, I guess like a large chamber, I guess I would say. It's littered with soil and stones, and there's debris from what appears to be a maybe a hastily conceived dig. um, you can see around as you look around, as you move your torch around, there's a barrel, a wheelbarrow, a rusty discarded pickaxe on the ground. You'll also see that this chamber, which is kind of vaguely sort of T-shaped, kind of splits off into a few passages, one to the left, one to the center, one to the right. What do you do?
I wish Horrorguest was here to tell me which of these rocks were
I
worth
know.
anything.
Horror guest would be
Um,
great right here.
but Horrorguest is not here, and we are running out of time. So, um, I'm gonna try and press deeper, um, but without anything to kind of go on the three different passages. Uh, do I hear anything or feel anything? A lightness of the wind. Actually, I might hold up my torch and see if there's like any wind coming from further.
Mm.
Now, I do have this golden lamp ritual that says it's immune to wind, but
Oh, you do? Yeah, yeah. But it could still blow in the
yeah,
wind,
yeah,
right?
it
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Make a hunt roll.
sure. Um, it's a two.
Fantastic. Your set goal, by the way, is to find the chasm. You're holding up your lamp, which will not blow out because it is a lamp that has been blessed by the Lady of the Golden Lamp, trying to see what might be the right way to go. That's when you kind of notice that the light, maybe the ceiling is much higher than you thought because it's very, very dark up there. The light doesn't seem to reach the top of that darkness. But then you realize that it's not because the light can't reach it. It's not because the ceiling's very high. It's because the top of the ceiling is covered with sleeping giant bats roosting there, hanging down. You have not made any untoward or undue noise yet, and so you're okay for the time being, but it's something to be mindful of as you continue on. Which direction do you go?
Do I get a sense, even just from the hunt roll, of like if there is wind coming from somewhere, which of the three,
Oh, a very good question indeed. It is the middle one.
then that's where we're going.
Asbel, I'll remind you that there's four fountains in the room, and then there's a door as well, in addition to the stairway. What are you doing?
I think she is going to go check out the door to see where that leads to.
Indeed. Let me take a look at my notes really quickly. Yeah. The door is it's just a simple wooden door as best you can tell. There's no particular markings on it or anything like that. What do you do?
I think she would try and open it.
It opens right up and it goes into a room that is decorated with a fresco featuring interlaced patterns of vines. There is a wooden shelf against the wall covered in gardening tools, small shovels, spades, that kind of thing. And to the left, it's a very small room, there is a statue. The statue is a cloak clad woman pointing directly to the south.
Is the south going back out towards
No,
the
you're
dryad?
coming in from you're coming in from what would be the west of this room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I see there's all the gardening equipment here. Is there, and there's obviously this sort of relief. Is there any notes about like tending to the tree or something? Anything, any record about the
Yeah,
tree?
make the hunt roll. Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, and I'll light up a candle to uh see a little bit better in here. Um, a five.
You take a token. Regrettably, there's nothing of use on the shelf. It's just old, rusted gardening equipment. The only thing of interest in the room, maybe the fresco, but really it's faded. Really, it's just this statue, a beautifully rendered statue in the middle of what appears to be a storage room, pointing at the wall directly across.
Um, um, Does it look like there's maybe any indentations in the wall, or if
Yes.
I go to where it's pointing?
Make another
Yeah.
hunt roll.
Okay. Chaotic's so mad that I'm not spending my hunt tokens. It's fine. I have plans, Chaotic. I need those hunt tokens. Um, a 6.
Take your token. There are no particular indentations in the wall, but the wall is false. It's just a piece of plywood.
Okay.
What do you do?
I think I would like to make a pitch to you. I want to retreat from the room for now,
Uh-huh.
but I would love to spend 3 hunt tokens to try and help calm the tree down and soothe it.
Oh, I love that very much. You can do
And
that.
maybe spend my last treasure token, my hunt token, to get a gold, so that it's like spent. If I,
I like where you're going with
maybe,
this. I like
yeah.
where you're going with this. I'll meet you halfway.
Okay.
You can certainly heal the tree using your magic, and she will reward you with a golden acorn worth 2 gold.
Okay.
Combat 3. Go ahead and roll it, Vero, against these buzzards in their finery.
That's a 7.
That is not enough. Did you hit any?
But nobody is like
No, keep it going. Give us some more narration.
All right. I'm going to try what I did last time. It doesn't seem like it works, but it worked with the snake. So I'm going to wait for one of the buzzards to lunge at me and try to grab its neck and saw its head off.
Nice.
But turns out it doesn't work on everybody.
Obey, huh?
I think if you allow me, I think we're like sort of like running like all across like the front lawn of this like manor house. I think like Obeha like effectively instead of like going to hit something, actually trips over their feet. And can I spend a hunt token to find a treasure?
Oh, sure, yeah. I think it was wearing like a beautiful gold brooch that falls off, and you can snatch it up. It's worth 1 gold.
Of course, now the buzzards are going to be interested in you because
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just like they're like freaking out, right? That's really good. Fantastic. I'm gonna stretch us like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, thank God.
I'm gonna we're gonna take a quick 1 minute break because I need to go grab a drink, but then we're gonna come back and play for just a little bit extra. Rias, you go down the center corridor, and it kind of just like branches off in a couple of places and kind of circles back. At a glance, it looks like this was if I had to describe it, or as you kind of look around, it looks like a digging project was started, but they kept changing their mind about where to dig. So they'd like dig for a little bit, they'd start a little shaft, and then they'd stop and they'd go somewhere else, right? But it all just sort of generally leads to the north, and that's kind of the direction you're going in here, right? If you have any questions as you carry on, you certainly can ask them.
So, first to be, what is the source of the wind? But also, certainly, while I'm down here, what were they digging? What were they looking for? Would be
Yeah.
a good question.
Go ahead and make your hunt roll.
Okay. I'm still using the torch for a second dice.
I'll give it to you still. Yeah.
It's a 4. I have a token. I'm
You have
going
a
to
token.
immediately spend it.
You have a token. If you spend it, you find what's essentially like a little leather case, and there's a bunch of like rusted mining tools as well, but that's not worth anything. You find this leather case, and inside the leather case there are 3 things. One, there is a little tiny like a lockbox, like not a lock. It's not locked though. It's like payment was being accepted and kept there. And so there's some coinage that's worth a gold. That's where your money's coming from. But also, there is in the lockbox a a tube of glass filled with a silvery liquid. And the third thing is there's a note. If you unroll the note and read it, you can learn, I'm not going to go through the text of the note, but you can learn that they are digging and looking for, they make repeated references to looking for the underground river. Prem believes the river is on this land. She wants to find the river so she can find her damnable rose. That's what you learn. I will tell you, Rias Ilsmont, since you also encountered something terrible, that there is a bat hanging right above you. Its wings are unfurled as it's waking up, and it's echolocating down there. It's not dropping down to attack yet, but I'm curious what you do.
Rias looks up at this bat, lowers his torch, doesn't extinguish it. I think maybe not fully going into his full beast ritual, but just trying to change his vocal cords enough to chitter back at it. Sort of be like, no, I'm friendly.
I like this. You can guide us through the risk roll. Go ahead and grab the text. I'm going to check in on the
Sure.
fight. Vero, roll a combat 4, please.
All right, that's 11, but it does hit our weak point.
It does indeed.
Mhm.
Please give us the combat defeating these creatures and taking the hits or armor as needed. Obeha, start.
I think as the vulture tries to go for my neck, trying to just cut my throat out so we can just eat my innards and whatnot. I think there is a blast of magic that sends it skittering in days, and I think I just straight up take my staff with a pointed end and just stab it through its sort of its own neck instead.
Vero, you can finish the other two off.
One of these things um, comes at him aggressively and knocks him back over. So he's lying on his back with this thing standing over him, trying to peck at his face. But he's going to grab the ruffled collar around its neck and pull it over its head, creating like a bag, and then wring its neck. And does maybe the other one flees at that point?
I like that. Yeah, it's good. Go ahead and roll Endurance 10, see if they have any other expensive finery on them.
I've been rolling hot on
gold 10,
gold.
rather.
Do you want to take it over there?
Yeah, fear a roll.
All right, gold 10. 1.
There have been worse gold rolls, let me assure you. There have been in the
Right.
history of this die roller, there have been really bad ones. I think you just find another bauble or trinket that's worth 1 gold.
I will take that,
Here,
please.
Obeah.
Indeed. Asbel, I think most of the rest of your delve is taken up with calming the tree. What does that look like?
I think that she heads back out to that middle area, feeling a little more confident with all the like having seen the different tools and stuff, thinking about ways to kind of help the tree. And she takes her stave and I think just like kind of sort of classic sorceress pose, has it raised above her head, and you see her hair, which is this thick braid, these curls, the hair starts to get thicker and take on a root-like appearance, and it's coiling down and growing down into the ground, almost rooting her into the spot. um and her eyes glow just that same bright blue as her flames as she is communing with the tree, and she's trying to um, like burn the madness out of the tree.
And I think when it's all done, you receive a message from the dryad that says, "The water from which my roots drink has the taint of death in it." Rias, please lead us through the risk roll.
So first, I have to state what I hope happens. In this case, I hope that this echolocation chittering gives the bat a sense that I am a friend, and it decides to not attack.
Indeed.
What could go wrong, friends?
It decides to attack.
It's tiger vocal cords, not bat vocal cords. Like, what are you expecting?
I think the bat has also been drinking from this corrupted water, and its bite does something worse than lead you.
Oh, great, another curse. Lovely. Is that everyone? Cool. So I have transformation as a
Okay,
skill.
sure.
So first light die, I'll accept the devil's bargain, or I'll listen to the devil's bargains at least.
Oh boy. No matter what, you have to. No matter what, you learn that the bats are guarding the chasm.
I would turn my what if into a devil's bargain. No matter what, the bat is corrupted somehow by the water.
Mine is kind of connected to that a little bit in a sense. Yeah, yeah.
No matter what, I think you'll find evidence of one of the, I guess, retainers or archivists of the Zur archives has been here.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I was hoping somebody would call in the Azure Archives. Let's go.
Artie, do you have anything, or are we good? Oh, you're muted.
We're good.
I think we're good. We're good.
Fantastic. You've got too light. You don't need a dark yet. So
Cool. Too late. Risk. It's a 5.
the complication is just going to be in the sort of the last message they leave you with, because this is the end, right? You're going to learn something, and then that's it.
Sure.
They tell you in their way. They don't attack. And all the bats wake up. And they speak with one voice. They speak with a single voice that says, "We are the path. We show the way. We show the way to the banks of the river of the dead. We can guide you beyond the veil. We can take you to the other side. You have but to place a coin under our tongue."
Breeze just happens to have a coin on him.
Indeed.
And he looks at it and he looks at both sides of it, looks back up at the bats and says, "Oh, my name is Rias Hilsmat. My mother, Sanarita Hilsmat. My father is the razor in the wind, and you shall not catch me this day.
Hmm.
I think he just turns to leave because
Yeah.
I think Rias gets that sense of time.
That will conclude our delve. I need everyone to pay up 1 gold for their burdens, please. Don't you have vouchers, Kevin?
I do, but I was gonna save it for like a 2 or 3 burdens delve.
The ones are actually maybe a little more stressful because
I
it's only an hour.
clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
Worth noting. This is the first time we've had that system in.
Yeah.
I mean, I also you have to declare a voucher at the top of the delve,
You
right?
do it at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't
so-
do it yet. Yeah.
This is the first time I've done a 1 hour, so now I know. Boy, golly.
Is everyone paid up?
Well, in just a second.
Fantastic. I will make notes of which animals or creatures need to be named in the bestiary, and I will see you all on Discord. It was fun.